Hey everyone, welcome back to Journey to Next Level. Today, we're diving deep into a mindset that forged empires and continues to inspire greatness. The Roman general is philosophy, forget just existing. We're talking about a way of thinking that demanded you lead or be forgotten. In the mighty empire of Rome, one unwritten law echoed through its grand halls and dusty training grounds. You either took the reins and led the way, or you simply feed into the annals of history. A forgotten whisper. This wasn't just about military rank, it was a societal ethos, a fundamental expectation for anyone who dared to dream of making a mark. The Roman generals, those iconic figures whose names still resonate with power today, weren't born with an inherent gift for command. They didn't just wake up one morning with a natural leadership halo. No, their formidable presence, their unwavering resolve, and their uncanny ability to inspire legions were meticulously forged, day by day, through relentless discipline. They sculpted themselves, not from marble, but from a bedrock of mental toughness, strategic foresight, and an unshakable belief in their own agency. They understood that true power wasn't a birthright, but a hard-won creation built brick by painstaking brick. A true Roman general never, ever waited for orders. Think about that for a second. In an era of strict hierarchy and chain of command, this wasn't an act of rebellion, but a testament to profound initiative and self-reliance. They weren't passive recipients of directives. They were proactive architects of destiny. When others around them were paralyzed by uncertainty, when the fog of war descended and obscured the path forward, the general didn't falter. He didn't stand idly by, hoping for divine intervention or a messenger from the distant capital. Instead, he created a direction. He cut through the confusion, assessed the chaos, and carved out a clear, decisive path where only indecision had reigned moments before. This wasn't recklessness, it was a cultivated skill born from countless hours of study, strategic planning, and an intimate understanding of both his own forces and his adversaries. He understood that in moments of crisis, the absence of direction is often more devastating than a difficult one. Imagine the battlefield, the clashing of steel, the shouts of men, the palpable fear that grips even the bravest heart. When the soldiers, weary and bloodied, began to falter, when the cold, unforgiving specter of death loomed large in their eyes, the Roman general didn't hide behind his lines. He didn't send others to inspire courage, he embodied it. His very presence was a rallying cry. He moved among his troops, his voice cutting through the din, his eyes conveying an unyielding resolve that resonated deep within their souls. He didn't just bark commands, he instilled a belief, a fierce, burning conviction that their collective strength could overcome any obstacle. He reminded them of their training, their purpose, and their shared glory. He transformed fear into fuel, doubt into determination, and gave them the audacity to stare death in the face and push forward. Perhaps the most defining characteristic of this mindset wasn't a tactical maneuver, but a fundamental declarative statement. A Roman general never wasted precious energy asking, "Can we win?" That question, steeped in hesitation and doubt, was alien to his core. For him, the only acceptable declaration was, "We will win." This wasn't blind optimism. It was a strategic imperative. It was a mental state that transcended the immediate challenges and projected an unwavering vision of victory. This certainty wasn't just for himself. It permeated every fiber of his command. It became the bedrock upon which all plans were laid, all sacrifices were made, and all battles were fought. This resolute belief wasn't just a morale booster, it was a powerful, self-fulfilling prophecy shaping actions and outcomes. The journey to such profound leadership began long before the first battle cry. In Rome, true leaders, those who would shape the destiny of legions and empires, understood the paramount importance of starting their day with purpose. They woke before the sun had even kissed the horizon, long before the city stirred from its slumber. Their first and most crucial engagement wasn't on the training field, but within the quiet confines of their own minds. They didn't just train their armies, they trained their minds. This meant hours dedicated to studying history, philosophy, strategy, and logistics. It meant quiet contemplation, meditation, and self-assessment. They sharpened their intellect, honed their intuition, and fortified their mental resilience. Only after they had won this internal battle, after they had clarity and focus, would they turn their attention to the external world, ready to lead with absolute conviction. Their leadership flowed from an internal wellspring, meticulously cultivated each dawn. When these formidable men spoke, their words were not idle chatter or rambling speeches. They were few but potent, carefully chosen, and imbued with immense weight. Every syllable carried the gravitas of their position, the wisdom of their experience, and the unshakable certainty of their vision. They didn't need to shout to be heard. Their authority resonated in their calm, deliberate tone, their piercing gaze, and the undeniable truth in their pronouncements. Each word was a strategic arrow, hitting its mark with precision, inspiring courage, clarifying purpose, or issuing an unassailable command. There was no room for ambiguity, no space for doubt. Their words were definitive, creating an undeniable reality that others followed. This mastery of communication was another weapon in their arsenal, as powerful as any sword. These leaders were never content to merely blend in. They didn't seek the comfort of conformity or the safety of numbers. The idea of following the crowd, of simply doing what everyone else was doing, was anathema to them. Instead, they understood their true calling was to build the path. They were the trailblazers, the innovators, the ones who dared to venture into uncharted territory and forge a new way forward. Whether it was a military tactic that defied convention, a political strategy that reshaped alliances, or an engineering marvel that stood for centuries, they were the architects of progress. They weren't afraid to stand alone, to challenge existing norms, or to endure the initial skepticism that often accompanies groundbreaking ideas. Their legacy wasn't built on imitation, but on audacious creation. Ultimately, the Roman general's greatest revelation was about the true source of power. It wasn't found in the gleaming steel of a sword, the formidable strength of a legion, or even the vastness of an empire. True power, the kind that endures and transforms, resided in decisions. The decision to march, the decision to hold, the decision to attack, to retreat, to innovate, to inspire. Each choice carefully weighed and decisively executed, cascaded into consequences that shaped history. They understood that every strategic outcome, every victory or defeat, was a direct result of a preceding decision. This insight elevated their role from mere commanders of men to orchestrators of destiny. Recognizing that their greatest impact stemmed from the clarity and courage of their choices. Therefore, the general's mind wasn't just another part of his body, it was his paramount weapon. Sharper than any blade, more resilient than any shield, and more potent than any siege engine. It was the forge where strategies were hammered out, where courage was ignited, and where the will to overcome was solidified. It was the source of his initiative, his resilience, his wisdom, and his unwavering belief in victory. He understood that controlling his own thoughts, mastering his own emotions, and continually expanding his own knowledge were the foundations upon which all external triumphs were built. This mental fortress was his ultimate advantage, allowing him to navigate the most treacherous circumstances and emerge victorious. Now let's bring this powerful philosophy into your life. Stop waiting for others to define your direction. Stop looking for external permission or expecting someone else to lay out your path. The world is full of opportunities, but they rarely come knocking with a clear instruction manual. This is your moment to embody the spirit of that Roman general. Be the one who sets direction, not just for others, but most importantly, for yourself. Chart your course, define your goals, and then move with the unwavering determination we've talked about. Why is this so crucial? Because followers, while essential to any movement, often fade into the background. Their impact, while important in the moment, rarely resonates through the ages with the same force. But leaders create history. They leave an indelible mark, inspiring generations, shaping societies, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Their stories are told, their actions are studied, and their legacies endure. Your life, your journey is your personal empire. Don't be a spectator, be the architect. If this deep dive into the Roman general's mindset has ignited a spark within you, if it's inspired you to take command of your own life and become the leader you were meant to be, then you're in the right place. We're all about empowering you to reach your highest potential. So if you're ready to embrace this journey, to cultivate your own leadership and to create your own history, make sure you hit that subscribe button to Journey to Next Level for more powerful motivation, insightful strategies, and transformative ideas. And hey, drop a comment below and tell me, what's one area of your life where you're ready to stop following and start leading? Let's build our own legacies, one powerful decision at a time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.